Hello, and welcome back to Universal Love Law. Today we're going to discuss the Aquarius North Node, Leo South Node, as well as the Leo North Node, Aquarius South Node. So I would encourage you, if you're looking for your South Node in your chart, always remember that it's in direct correlation and opposite to your North Node. So when you have an Aquarius North Node, you automatically have a Leo South Node, Also, vice versa, if you have a Leo North Node, you're automatically going to have an Aquarius South Node. I also want to encourage you guys to take a look at the degree, which is the small number on the side of your North Node and South Node. Whatever it is on your North Node will be the same for your South Node. It's just sometimes on different birth chart servers, they do not show the South Node, but always keep in mind that it's a direct opposition to each other. Okay, so it always holds the same number as well. So when you're talking about this number, this degree, numbers hold vibrational frequencies that manifest out in a positive and negative as well. So numbers in numerology is very helpful in life when we're talking about the mystical subjects and taboo subjects in life. So it's really important to learn the degree of your North and South Node to see how the energy will play out and manifest for you. So let's jump right into this Aquarius North Node, Leo South Node, and then I'll go into the vice versa, Leo North Node, and then Aquarius South Node in the middle of the video. Okay, so for Aquarius North Nodes in this lifetime, they have to learn how to find their true identity through trial and error. A lot of the times they may feel very comfortable with their old way of doing things because the old way is just being comfortable and complacent. Whereas this new way in the North Node will guide an Aquarius energy to be more expressive and eccentric. So this can cause a person that has an Aquarius North Node to need to experience a lot of different people, a lot of different groups, a lot of different facets so that it can develop in its identity. It wants to stand out as well, so it has this challenge. You guys that have the North Node in Aquarius, there's always this strong urge to rebel and to look for some new way, some new alternative way of thinking and doing and projecting yourself. So these are people that can constantly find groups where there's some type of opposition towards them. A lot of people have deemed the Aquarius energy to be androgynous, so a lot of support in the LGBTQ community, and there's also different signs, of course, that have this strong emphasis, but Aquarius has this very strong androgynous energy, so not really relating to just one gender, but also being able to have a lot of different beliefs outside of the norm. So these people like to join associations and groups that they can fight for the freedom and rights of. So you still find them a lot with either, working with animals or working with someone and just being a part of something greater than themselves, where they're having to fight for someone that is in the opposition to the majority. Now, this goes against the Leo South Node energy. They may have been brought up or may always have these constant themes that are, very attention seeking. And these people may be born into families where all of that manifests. They have the popularity, they have the family, they have all of these things. But in this lifetime, they just, they have to break free from that. Okay. They support teams, and when they know the Aquarius North Node, when they know their role, if they're healthily aspected, they could be aware of their role and achieve it to the highest maximum. Now, if their North Node is negatively afflicted, which is more so like a square or oppositions to the larger outer planets or the personal planets, it can cause them to be very argumentative, but not so much argumentative, but rebel against their own tribes. Like, they may find groups that they become a part of and then begin to stand out and become awkward in those groups, always needing to find a new place, always drifting from one awareness to another. These people can be very undisciplined and also inconsistent in others' lives if they're negatively aspected, because they're always looking to find their identity, remember? So they're looking to seek this eccentric, out of the box, unworldly self-expression. And when they experience that, they feel on top of the world. Now, if the North Node Aquarius person is negatively aspected, they will feel a little bit defeated every time they begin to jump into that eccentric energy. So it will cause them to become detached and to let go of the things that are very important, which is, finding their true identity and finding that unique, quirky aspect of themselves that they can live out. And the Leo South Node person can be, in a negative light, very selfish, and these people may have really sought attention a lot growing up and could have befriended people just to overthrow them, or to find people that they love their energy and begin to engulf in their energy so they can kind of steal their energy. So that's something that South Node energy, in Leo, they are used to getting the influence over others, the attention. They become very stagnant if they do not move into their more Aquarius desires to express and to become more eccentric and unique, but not just on a level for people to identify them as that or as such, but more so on a level where they feel that way within the group, because Aquarius always is in the group but outside of the group at the same time. It's fixed air, so it's contained within its own self, and the ideas that is created within the Aquarius North Node is all based on experiences. And so it doesn't care for what other people identify them as. They in fact don't want to really relate, but they know and understand the influence of relating and relations. They learn so much from them, so they need to be in group settings, or they need to have friendships. They need to be a part of some type of group that they can identify themselves and learn more about life in that way. And so with the Leo North Node, they may, stay stagnant if they're South Node, if they're consistently looking and seeking that attention that they may have already, overcome and mastered the art of being the one in attention, being the performer, being the one that is known for what they're known for, but there's a lot to learn between the Leo and Aquarius energy as far as them becoming more evolved from not just me getting attention, but me identifying myself within this group of people, not just me. It's all about me in this group. So there's a balance that needs to take place. All right. So moving along to, if a person has their North Node in Leo and their South Node in Aquarius, these are the people that actually need, the North Node Leo person needs to tap into their inner ego. They need to begin kind of like that Aries inner North Node. They need to tap into their inner ego, because sometimes they can get lost in a crowd. Like, well, where's Waldo? I'm here, but I'm not really fulfilling. And a North Node Leo person may often feel very accustomed, may even be born into groups of social prominence, or just families that have a lot of connections, or even if it's, whether it's church, whether it's some humanitarianism, whether it's some, even on a dark side, it can be, born into a family full of criminals. It can play out where the person with the South Node in Aquarius may be born into some type of groups that they feel like they need to branch off and become their own identity and become their own self. They need to tap into their inner ego and begin to ask themselves those questions about themselves. Who am I? What can I do? I'm not going to worry about everyone else in this lifetime. I'm here to tap into the spirit of expression and become more courageous within myself, to not be so fearful of what people will see from me, because Aquarius energy, they're in the group, they want to be seen, they don't care to be, but they want to be seen as the oddball and unique, though, not just as a negative but as a positive, like someone different. They need that energy to feel at their highest expression, whereas Leo wants to be looked up to in a sense. They want to be someone that is praised, and that pride is very prominent for a North Node Leo person as well. But they could become very fearful of stepping up into that leadership role of being the face or the image of the group, or the image of themselves, and having that brand, them being the brand versus them being a part of a group that is larger than them, right? And this can play out on a very micro scale or macro scale. These people need to understand the healthy balance of competition. So, whereas the Aquarius the Aquarius South Node energy may have made them very accustomed to observing a scene and knowing what to take from people to become their own version of that, group's expression. Like, some even negatively speaking could be more like a follower energy. But the North Node Leo needs to stand and become their own unique self by just taking the lead and not caring if they don't look like what they, what the group may make them look at. Like, they're here to branch off and be singular. They're here to be their own self. They're not here to be a part of fighting for something greater than themselves, and they're not here to do that. That's the old way, So yeah, they need to learn to tap into that spirit, that essence, that energy where they can project their sun, that light. Because remember, Leo's ruled by the sun. They need to learn how to be relatable, but in a way where they're looked up to, not just like that fixed air where it's like contained. Their old ways may be very well at listening to other people and taking their lead and following them, but they need to begin to become their own trendsetters. They need to begin to have their own confidence within themselves. That is the opposite and the experience learning in this lifetime. Before, the old way is not working. The Aquarius South Node, they're very great observers. They may be copycats at times. They may have these very cold-hearted or wild spirits, feel very free and unique and eccentric, and lack the emotional empathy that is needed to be their own great big heart. That Leo is that big heart, they need to have that kind of self-love, and they need to really love themselves and to project themselves out to the world so that they can be perceived as someone that is to be looked up to. The Aquarius energy doesn't seek that. They need to feel that on an internal level. They don't seek to have that connection with others in that way. They don't mind being a part of groups because it helps them to identify themselves. So that Aquarius South Node energy, they need to stand up in this life. It may be facilitated for them to, grow up into groups or have friends and get lost in the crowd could be easy. But here, you're here to speak up and stand up and say, hey, I'm here, right? So I really hope this video has helped you today. And thank you so much for tuning into Universal Love Law. Peace.